You've asked if I, you've asked if my winning slot strategies for casinos work for online slots. And one of them does. It also works at brick and mortar casinos. So if you're not into online slots or you're in a place where you can't get to online slots or the good ones, legitimate ones, you can successfully use it at your local casino. It's called Bank the Bonus, and it works on both online and casino slots. I even tell you why. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because, of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Hello to you watching this recording, whether you're on Twitter, LinkedIn, my Facebook profile, or on YouTube. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around, and I'm sure it'll be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. For those of you who are here live, thank you so much. If you have a question, please use hashtag question. I'll put a banner across the bottom of the screen if you can read that small, if you're using a small device. If you have a question, use hashtag question, because there's a lot of conversations going back and forth between people who are in the chat. And I want to make sure I can spot your question without going, nope, 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 nope. Yep, there's one. Okay. So please use hashtag question at the beginning of your comment. This is a community video, and I think it's a great community video, checking in, people check in with each other and how things have been going lately, and there's discussion back and forth, but it makes it hard to find the question, so hashtag question would be excellent. Thank you. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. It's my online course. It has 3 free valuable bonuses, including my 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com /30 days to learn more about the free bonuses and testimonials and course content. I want to make sure I share the link to that for you with my highly reviewed and popular online course. So I'll share that in the YouTube chat. Be careful using that link right now, because I don't want you to leave the live stream. You have to right click and open another window. Okay. So sorry, don't mean to tell you how the internet works. Yes, how to win at online slots. And it's about time I told you. It's a modification of my 5-pull method, but it also works at casino slots. And so, oh yes. So welcome to a cloudy day in Reno. All my other live streams from Reno. I moved here Monday last week, and it's been sunny, so it's hard to have the light difference and be able to see out. I can see Atlantis Casino right there, that skyscraper right there, Atlantis Casino in Reno, from my apartment patio. So isn't that special? If a little further this way is Sierra Resort and others, but they're not within the view. I should just pick you up and take you out there. Oh no, never mind. and I've been trying to shoot some of my YouTube shorts from the patio, and I'm working on better ways to try to get so you can see the background at the same time. All these things, whenever you change your studio, you need to update your lighting and your sound, etc. So right now I have a lot of echoes and I have a little bit of light. So yes, look out my window. It's going to be rare. It's raining in Reno, and that's pretty rare. Okay, so you've asked if my winning slot strategies for casinos work in online slots. And it's called Bank the Bonus. And here's how it works with a $200 bankroll. Played 10 games. Make sure everything's good here. Play 10 games with a loss limit of $20 per game, and stop playing that game when you get a bonus or spend your $20. While betting from each $20 on a single game, vary your bet amount. Sometimes make minimum bets, maybe maximum bets, and perhaps something in between. Yes, but I'm trying to improve my Davey, if you want to put a hashtag question in front of that so I can spot it later when I get to the questions, please do. I don't want to miss it. Okay, so make whatever bets sizes you want, but stop when you spend $20. Not $20 in your winnings, though. Stop when you spend $20 total. And if you win a bonus or a big win with a good line hit, stop right then. And so this is, if you're very familiar, if you're familiar with my 5-spin method, you can see the similarities here. And now these are the rules, okay? But you can change the rules, but only after thoughtful consideration of how it's going so far. You can change how much bankroll you want to use per game. It doesn't have to be $20 per game, but you do have to set the amount beforehand. Stick to the plan. This is a loss limit plan. Stick to the plan until the plan needs to be changed. Another change you can make is that it doesn't have to be 10 games. But again, start with 10 games and don't change it without watching very carefully if you're winning more or more often. Maybe play 5 games or 20. It's the same way with your bankroll per game, but go back to 10 games and $20 per game if you're winning less or less often. You might also do this with a group of friends. I don't put out recipes. How do I do this? I don't put out, I don't give away cakes. I give out recipes. Is that right? Maybe I'll go back to my fish analogy. I don't give out fish. I teach people to fish. So there are adjustments, just like with the 5-spin method. Maybe you're using 8. Maybe you never even get to 5 and it's only 3. So there are modifications to the 5-spin method, just like there's 5 modifications to the bank the bonus method. You can do this with friends online or at a casino, but everybody must agree to any changes to the rules. And of course, it could be fun playing in a group as well as being able to pool your initial bankroll. So you may wonder why this works. Or maybe not. It's like looking at how sausage is made. I love my sausages, but I'm not sure that I really like watching them being made. Sausage is great, but as they say, watching sausage being made can be a little bit disturbing. But let's peek into the kitchen or under the hood for educational reasons. This strategy works because it's 2 bankroll management tips. Specifically loss limits and preserving gains. Yes, you're using accounting principles to walk away with your winnings. How does that make you feel? So yes, you've asked for an online slots methodology, and that's why I am providing it. Now, there is a good question from Davey, who did concede and add a hashtag, but not the question before this. Do I play online games? So Monday last week, I lived in Ohio, and Ohio blocks all of that. As you know, but maybe not everybody knows, there's a couple of different kinds, 3 different sort of categories of online games. Online games, social gaming, where I know you know, but others might not. Online games, which are social gaming, where every day you get some points and then you use them up, and they're trying to encourage you to spend money. And you don't actually get those winnings. You might win a whole bunch. I've enjoyed those games. 2015 was spent with a lot of time on that. And I got like to 1,000 level. Well, it was great. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it. But it isn't for real money gambling. You can spend money, but you can't get it back. There's also the other end of the spectrum for real money gambling, which I assume you're talking about. That can be blocked by the state in which you live. So you need to kind of like have access, and I did not in Ohio. But as of Monday last week and Tuesday, when I got internet service, I now have access, but it's something that I have a lot of things to do, including working on the View and the Echoes. Looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ricardo. And I will. So that's where I am at. I am stuck Davey, with being able to do this, and now I can, and I'm so happy to. But on the other hand, online slots is such a wild, wild west sort of situation. What I have available in Nevada won't be what you people have available in New Jersey, and anybody in Ohio watching this would be like, why can't I get online slots? So there's, I thought I would wait a little while before I branched out, and it's to the point where more people have it, more people have legitimate access, gaming regs apply and that sort of thing. Right now, it's just kind of like wild, wild west, shoot them up. And I'm like, wait for something that's a little bit more consistent. That's what I like, because when it's consistent, I can take advantage. And that's what and tell you about it. So let me share, do this right. Okay. Thank you, Magpie11, for your donation of $19.99. Winners plan to win it's a super chat, and she says winners plan to win. Yeah, I agree. Thank you for the donation. Very much appreciated. Also, I don't have one to show you here, but Ricardo has given a donation on the Cash App at Professor Slots. Thank you for that donation. I wanted to recognize it, and I should have recognized it when you did that on a recent live stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. Donations are appreciated. Davey said, how do you play online slots? So I didn't see the how because it was with the hashtag. Basically, the most secure way to do this is to go to your website for your local casino and see if they have an online source, because that means it's going through the gaming commission, and that's kind of protected. But there's so many online sites which are not protected. And just a moment ago, I was talking about social gaming, online slots, and for real money gambling, online slots, and those are the two different things. There's actually one in between called Chumbra, and it uses sweepstakes state gaming regulations called sweepstakes gaming, and it really does depend where you're at and what the law currently is. People can get paid, but only if their state allows it. And so it's kind of like a hybrid in between. Sometimes it's social gaming for your state. Sometimes it's real money gambling for your state. It really does depend on your state. And those laws are being updated often. Have you been to a convenience store and they have slots? Is it legal? Is it illegal? You don't know. And if it's illegal, like in Tennessee and Georgia, I get calls from people saying, they messed up. What do I do? And I said, well, you can talk to the store clerk. And if you really want to talk to somebody, talk to their manager, and that's it. You can't call the state. You don't have, state police, nothing like that can help because it's illegal. It's just not enforced and not removed. I was talking to somebody in a paid consultation yesterday, I think it was, and it's kind of like a rave, that comes and goes. Or no, it was a Thursday night discussion. It's kind of like a rave that comes and goes. It's like, well, I thought we had slots. No, not anymore. It's an abandoned building now. Okay, and so there's a lot of legitimacy that is, a great concern for online slots. Yeah. But understand that there's a couple of different varieties, including that hybrid that I was telling you about. So there is another question, and from Frenzy on the game China Shores. Yep, yep. In the bonus round, having the choice between free play, super free, or credits, what is the best option? Okay, so in China Shores, there is an in the bonus round, having the choice, China Shores is something a lot of people talk about, and we'll talk about some games and some of the intricacies of the game rules. You have a choice between, okay, so in general, everything was decided when you place the bet. And how much you were going to win was always how much you're going to win from when you press the button. Now, there's a couple of features that can be in games which is called an advantage play. And there's a bunch of different kind of like, they're all grouped together and called advantage plays. And what you're talking about, you have a choice between games, super free or credit prize. What is the best option? In general, it doesn't matter, but sometimes it's more, it's sometimes the casino will, how do I say this? In a bonus round, it can take half an hour to play out. And during that half an hour, the game is not earning income for the casino, right? Because you made a bet and now you're just waiting and you're watching a movie, basically. And so it's basically shut down as an income device for the casino. And the casinos realize that they're losing money by having long bonus rounds. And you may find that you will get, and that's why you know we're seeing long bonus rounds and you win nothing. It shouldn't be that way. Whatever what the bet amount was, there should not be a different outcome depending on the choice that you made. But there is a strong incentive for the casino to say, well, it's not even, you know, earning income right now. Why should we give up money in addition to it not earning income for 10 minutes or 5 minutes? You know, we can make a couple $100 in you know, in a few minutes, and yet now, you know, it's paused because it's running a bonus round. So there are suspicions out there that anything that takes a long time to play has a lower outcome, and that's not legal, but it's something to be aware of. So normally it would not matter. I'm a little bit worried about the things that take longer to credit. So the credit prize, boom, it's done. Back to winning, back to bringing in money. And the casinos, there's no doubt that they prefer that, but whether they can have some say in making that happen is kind of the question. I think I missed a question back in the beginning from Noel. I believe I did. Yes, I did. So Noel, sorry, and getting towards holiday season. Noel says, John, are you aware of the Lucky Chance spin trick on Dragon Link and similar games? Legit strategy of play, maybe a video short. I would like to. I feel like I need to give credit to Slots of Fun, who just posted who's a moderator, one of my moderators, and we were discussing it on our Thursday night Zoom meeting with all, you know, the whole group. And there's a lot of these little tricks that you have to evaluate to see whether or not there's a winning method. The slot machine manufacturers are trying to get people to like see the little graphic on Dancing Drums and say, well, that bucket's getting full. That bucket's getting full. That means it's going to pay out. Whoa, 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 whoa. The slot machine manufacturers want people to say the image, the graphic is getting full, therefore play it. And that's not something that actually takes place. If you look into the game rules on Dancing Drums, it says, no, it's just an image. I'm paraphrasing. But the Dragon Link, I'll share Slots of Fun, what your idea, what you noticed, which is that, so when you make a bet, there's a chance that you might get a second chance. That's why it's called a second chance, a lucky chance spin. And all that, you know, you have to decide for yourself if it's an advantage, because there are some machines that have, like Ocean Magic, I think it is, that actually have a valuable advantage play. And whether you can, you know, use the lucky chance feature of making a bet and, oh, you've got an extra chance here, an extra spin. That is probably not very much of an advantage, but Slots of Fun, Slots of Fun, Slots of Fun has mentioned that there is an advantage play to that machine. So if you and Yeah. Okay. If you go to the casino, you have, you play and you have this voucher, which is like 2 cents, right? You get to the end of your bankroll, or even just the amount that you put in the machine, and you get this like 10 cent, 12 cent. You can't make another bet with it, voucher, and people throw it in the tip jar, or maybe combine a bunch of them, or wait in line, do all of that, or just throw it away. Well, go over to the Lightning link and put that 2 cent, 10 cent, minimum, this voucher that you have no use for, except maybe give it as a donation to the casino, and put it in and press the bet button. Well, it'll say, no, 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 you don't have enough to make a bet, but you get the lucky chance spin 1 out of 20 times. How about that? So you get a spin based on the bet that you couldn't make because you got the lucky chance spin for nothing. And I think all of us, Slots of Fun, pointed out, we should all be putting our last 12 cent vouchers into luck into um, this Dragon Link machines to try to get the lucky spin. It won't be only 1 in 20, but you might win something, but you get the bet, and that's the advantage there. I'm glad I didn't skip that. There was an early questions. Um, let's see. I saw China Shores. Okay, good. We had that. Um, good morning, Steve. How are you? uh, let's see here. So Richard has a question, which lately you've been asking questions which don't make a lot of sense. Like you're missing a verb or something. I will try to read this. Maybe somebody has a comment about this. Switching bet sizes during each $20 per into each machine, or $20 per same machine per trigger. Cash out, clear credits is $0. Um, if you could ask a clearer question, I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're saying. I know that you enjoy asking questions, but what? Serenity says, back from Vegas. Welcome back. 2 hand bays. Yay. Both on Monday at Bellagio. Thanks to PS, I played and paused. I came home with bankroll diminished, but not depleted. I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful. Great. That's wonderful. Question: if a machine is winning, do you set new stop losses as you go? Okay. I will play it down to X cards full of money, and then I will stop and go home or to another machine. Okay. So this is what I tell people, my paid consultations, which is, you want to have 3 plans. Okay. The first plan is why you're going to the casino. This is what I usually do, and this is what I usually win or I don't win. And, I want to make sure that I have a loss limit, and I want to preserve gains. And this is what happens, kind of like the normal plan. All right. So have that plan. And a few people are starting to realize they need that, or at least recognize that they have one, because you need 2 other plans. What if something happens? What if something unusual happens? What if something happens that's a little bit unusual? Okay. Let's say you as you say, the machine is winning, but doesn't normally. Then what do? Well, you need to have another plan. If you win something, do you put half of it away and put it in your pocket, your deposit only pocket, put it in your lockable wallet, and that's it? Play with what's remaining. Is it 50%, 75%, 25%? Is it as much as you brought to the casino so that at least you'd be able to take home what you brought, and then you play with the winnings? And that's what you have to decide before you go to the casino, because it can get a little bit exciting, as you know, and it's easier sometimes to not come up with the plan, but rather remember the plan. So that's plan number two. Plan number one is, what do you normally do? Plan number two is, what if something a little bit unusual happens and you find a winning machine? What's the plan? Because coming up with it at the time is not exactly the easiest thing to do. And, so come up with it beforehand. How much do you want to put away? Is it just the bankroll? 50% of the winnings? What? And then what happens if it's an extraordinary best ever night? What if you win a hand pay, first time ever? What if you win $5,000? What if you win $10,000? What's the plan? Put your $300 bankroll back in your pocket and play the rest? I hope not. The higher it is, honestly, get out. And if you don't realize that plan, then you might, do what I've done in the past. Learn your lesson. If you have a big win and you spend all of it and then you regret that later, this is a lesson that you paid for. So learn your lesson so you don't have to pay for it again. And maybe some of you can learn it before you need to learn it, before something like that happens and you go, oh no. So what's the plan for just going to the casino? What's the plan for something unusual happens? You found a winning machine. What do you do? What do you do? And then what happens if you win big? I mean, I don't care if you spend it all. Most people do. Most people can't do anything else. And I'm trying to help them. My value proposition on my YouTube channel is play slots smarter, leave with their winnings. Okay, so people, I've been sharing people. This is my 10th live stream on my 10th winning slots method. These are approaches that are based on casinos' marketing plans, and if the casino doesn't have the marketing plan which we're trying to take advantage of, then the strategy doesn't work. But if they do, then it does. And so you have to try each one to see whether or not it works at your casino. My strategies are actually counter strategies, to casino marketing plans. And I've gone over 10 of them in the last 10 live streams. And people are winning, which is great. But they suddenly find out they can't leave. They don't know how. They haven't got the practice to I won, but I lost it all. And so when people come to me and they say, I've won, I've won, and but people come to me and say I lose, and I say, well, did you lose or did you win and lose? Because that's two entirely different situations. Do you need to learn how to have loss limits and preserving gains as a money management technique, or do you still need to learn how to win? Kind of went on about that a little bit. And so, yes, what you're talking about, Thomas, is things that you need to consider. And second question from Thomas, if a question goes from winning to losing, do you feel it worth coming back to that machine later in the same trip? So your circumstances are, it's a trip. And I would put it down as if it was winning, it becomes a candidate machine. What my strategy number 7 is come back a week later to that initial time and see if it's winning again. And you have good information of keeping track of when you went and when you played it and coming back a week later, but also keeping track of, well, right around, the 7 o'clock hour, it turned off. So maybe this time I won't be spending money. I'll watch very carefully the second time you go for that time, that reduction, that losses to take place again, and maybe stop sooner. And so these are things that you learn. These are things that you can watch for, and these are things that you can pick up on. Yeah, good thinking. Let's see. And Frenzy says, I took the payout. Yeah, congratulations, because I said it's all determined at the press of the button. It is. If you're playing video poker, if you're playing bingo, not so much, but class 3 machines, that's how it's set up. That's how it works. And congratulations on walking away. I just spent like 5 minutes talking about that. And excellent. Thomas also says slots goals. If I break even, great slots goals. I talk about having a plan, and slots goals are like that. But sometimes it's more like slots goals. If I do this, or if I do this, if I do this, or if this happens to me, or this happens to me, or this happens to me, and sort of layered. If I break even and bring home free food, it's not at all a bad evening, right? Most people don't even get that. Long bonus rounds is a minor thing to keep in mind. Yep. Balance, not earning comps versus not spending money. Yeah, I have I don't think I have it any longer. It didn't make it on the trip. My $10,000 chip dip tray. Porcelain, which I looked up online before its free market value when it was $32, and we all joked with one another, our little carry case, that we were all walking around with this chip dip tray. And one woman said to me in the elevator on the way out, "Oh, so you have your $10,000 chip dip tray?" And yeah, so sometimes spend $10,000 to go from the 28-inch flat screen TV to the 48-inch flat screen TV or something like that. And I'm like, if I wanted to spend $10,000 doing that, I could go spend $3,000 at the Best Buy and just buy it. Yeah. How to find the best return to player machine, from Valentine. So it depends on where you're talking about. I have to, I service the US. So Illinois bars and taverns are legal machines, and they're completely controlled by the state lottery and the state budget. Illinois state budget is kind of like having problems right now. So the state lottery is like, we can help. and we can bring in more money for you and let people win less. And so, or in the state of Washington, which has a unique system, actually several, has 2 unique systems. The class 3 machines, I was having consultations yesterday, a couple of them with people from the state of Washington, and it's just fascinating. Their class 3 machines are based on scratch ticket lottery, and I looked into the rules and I figured out some stuff that are advantage plays for those. But then the other machines they have are class 2 bingo style machines, which a few states have. So what is the best return to player machine is not about, I think you're asking about the game, and it's not the game. It's the position of the machine in the casino. How easily is it seen from a distance? Is it seen from a distance from a high traffic area? That's how you find it. I don't care at all. I care the least little bit about the game. People are confusing player appeal with taking home money, return to player. And they think one means the other. I like to play this game and I make money at it. Well, those are 2 mutually exclusive things. You can make money on machines where you're just like, I don't really like the 1970s version of Wonder Woman, but by golly, she pays. So I'm just going to sit here and be annoyed while I make money. So the disconnect needs to be put into that. So the best machine is one that's highly visible. Now, you can also do some of the caveats here. You can find machines that have built-in advantage plays, like these lightning links. Why wouldn't you just take your last 10 cents voucher and go press the button and see if you get a free spin? Because it'll tell you, oh, you don't get a spin. You didn't have enough money. But you won the special, the lucky spin, lucky chance spin, and 1 out of 20 times, instead of just throwing that voucher away. So these are the tips that I present, Valentine. Robe. On my last trip to Vegas in March, I was able to hit a hand pay with the Lucky Chance spin on Dragon Link at MGM Grand. Take the chance. Yeah. Take a chance without any losses. What are you going to do with that 12-cent voucher? Give it away, throw it away, leave it for somebody, which I don't recommend because it's kind of like, but it's a thing that people do. Go find a lucky link, something like a 1 in 20 chance of getting that, and Robe's like, I got a hand pay. Yeah, doesn't have to happen every time, but by golly, yeah. Thelma says, just joined now. Thank you for joining. Online slots includes ones from Hollywood and Betway. Betway, I believe that's the one. It's the Wild West out there. If you are in a state that allows online gaming and you have a Hollywood casino in that state, then go to Hollywood Casino's website for your local casino, and that's legitimate. Okay, as legitimate as it gets. Now, Betway, if you look at the terms and conditions, I looked that one up, and I looked into the terms and conditions, and I read them very carefully. It's all fine print, right? But I read it, and it said, not legal in Nevada. And I read a little bit further, and they seemed scared of Nevada. And I realized why, which was Nevada has good gaming regulations, and Betway is scared of them. And that's not a good sign that they're, of a legitimate online casino. So there is a variety of things. One of the recommendations that I have is to go to the experts. Okay, go to the experts about which online casino is best. But it's not in the United States. In the United Kingdom, they've had online betting for a while, and businesses have sprung up where they would evaluate each of those businesses, and they would rank them in terms of legitimacy, respectability, problems, issues, that sort of thing. And I'm not doing that. I'm considering doing that when it all kind of settles down in the United States, and more states have them, because otherwise I get questions like, why don't I have it? Well, talk to your congressman, or become one. So in the United Kingdom, there's these sites that review online gaming sites and rank them. And those are services that are just out there, and so that's what to watch out for. And Colin's gang, hey Colin, so I'm in Reno. That's Atlantis Casino. That's downtown. That's let me try to move my arm a little bit. There you go. And that's the Reno airport. It is only possible to do that because it's partly cloudy, but it's getting brighter out, so you'll probably just all be whitewashed. Yeah, that's what's happening. What you've been doing. And Serenity. Oh, you slot stalker. Are you a are you coming up with a new term, slot stalker? Well, there's groups of people that just like hang out and watch for these advantage plays. Yeah. And must hit buy, press rate. Yeah. So this was it the second? Yes, I believe it was the second strategy that I talked about 8 live streams ago. I went through them one by one, and I'm doing this to kind of like improve my presentation of the website article, and then ultimately create a new video on it so that I can explain these things clearer and answer people's questions that people have had. And and right. So yes, people who play progressive machines are waiting for the must hit by amount to get closer. And then they have to spend less money in order to get a win. And the reason then how those numbers get closer is for people to play those machines. And so they watch those machines and they say, I can now play it and push it over the must hit by amount and cause the win. But having a notebook for determining what that must hit by number, if it doesn't say on the machine, take some notebooks and some, stalking. Caesars Windsor. Yeah, I wanted to go to Caesars Windsor the last time I was driving through Detroit, but they were having that trucker strike. You have to cross Ambassador Bridge, or you go around through Port Huron. I'm a Michigan boy. I'm from there. That's how you know I'm from Michigan. I brought my map with me, and Caesars Windsor. I'd hope to get there. I was living in Ohio up until early last week, and before all that, I was going up and down to Michigan to see my family, and Detroit's right there. But the pandemic was blocking all that. The trucking situation was blocking all that. So I never did get a chance to go to Caesars Windsor. Yeah. Hey, Daniel. Looking forward to using and perfecting John's strategies. Yep, absolutely. I'm here to, teach you to fish and, go to your own fishing hole and start with my strategies and then follow your nose. Yeah, absolutely. It's lots of fun. As a question, is there an upper win limit with online games like casino floor games that have alert set amount for hand pays? This is the wild, wild west part of online games. If it's an offshore online game, why would it even matter? And this is why states are upset. This is why states are just angry at that sort of thing, because they're like, we deserve our taxes and we're not getting our taxes. And so some do, some don't. One of the things that we see coming into online, to brick and mortar casinos, it comes from online games, and some of them like ending the session where you only have a W2G once. That sort of feature comes into play. And you can also choose not to set, you can also choose not to pay taxes immediately at the win. Federal is optional up to a certain amount, like 100,000, 200,000 hand pays. They do have federal becoming of it have to be made, but at the time of the win. But most of the time, it's not. And if if it's not where you're located, it's where the company is located. And if a company is located in the Caribbean, then it's not your state that you're in. So it all becomes kind of like, what's going on here? The finances that, check with your accountant. I am not one. I have to say that out loud. I am not a professional income tax consultant. And, you should check with one on those things. Yeah, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. And that's the sort of thing I want to settle down. If you go to your website for your local casino because it has an online option, that's probably the best thing. Because it's less worry for me. Question from Jason: is there a site that shows volatility of certain type machines? Double Diamond is low, Dragon Link is high. Strategies for volatility on a machine. Be careful of the word volatility. Volatility is a lovely, lovely statistical term which people are using and they have no idea what it means. Do you know standard deviation? The statistical term, average, standard deviation. Well, the standard part of standard deviation identifies that one distribution, statistical distribution. So it's a deviation for that distribution. And there is a bunch of different distributions. So you have to find the non-standard. Deviation is another word for that is variance, and another word for that is volatility. So this is just variance. How much around the average value that is the theoretical payout limit, how much around that is the wins? Are they a wide range around that theoretical payout, or is it a narrow range? And that's volatility, which we don't know because it can change at the drop of a hat. It's all based on um, where is the average at, the theoretical payout, but it's also the choices for that theoretical payout. What distribution is it? Wide ranging or is it narrow? And those things are not even recognized as being under discussion, except, for me to talk about these things. You can find some brief mention of it. I saw an interview on another slots channel where they went into the casino and they talked to a slot manager, and they talked to the technician, and they talked to the gaming representative, I guess, and the slot attendant, the slot technician actually said this. But the host, the creator, the YouTube channel went over his head. Didn't recognize what was being said. I sent him a message and I said, dude, you should listen to people you're interviewing, but no. And so, yeah. There is something called the Freedom of, just to be full disclosure, there's something called the Freedom of Information Act, which is allows you to go to court and 6 months later, a year later, 5 years later, whatever, get records. And people have gone to the slot mechanics, the slot manufacturers, and they have said, we want this. And so there are a few I want to call them FAR reports that came out, PAR reports, PAR, that have come out. FAR is what they use for the Department of Defense. Sorry, different section of my brain. And the PAR reports, those that are available from 2019, that's how they were obtained. And it's not, there's a volatility index, which is a sort of a scale on which the volatility is placed. Every slot manufacturer has a different index. It's like Celsius versus Fahrenheit. You don't understand what it means unless you know what the index is and how it's built. And that's not something that they share. Yeah. So sorry, no, it's just not available. If you were to become purchase a slot machine, perhaps even be the slots manager, you will get access to the database. You can go to IGT and you can see there's a database access, and that's the sort of thing that they provide there. And if you share it publicly, then you're in serious trouble because you just broke the law. You have non-disclosure agreements. It's not something to mess with. So if you do find some stuff, either people are making it up or, they've stolen it. And, if you're handling stolen goods, people are going to crack down on that. Yeah. Anyway, it's just a discussion, Jason. You and I have many conversations, and we really do get into it sometimes. And Mr. Pick says, I don't see a question, but always find it hard when you win shortly after arriving. Yes, isn't that terrible? I've gone in and won $14,000, and I'm like, I've been here 10 minutes. I had planned on like a 3-hour stay. What am I going to do? Guess I can go home and roll in the money. Yeah. True story. True story. And Magpie is expressing to Daniel. Did I miss your question, Magpie 11? I think it's maybe coming up next. I want to make sure I don't skip over things. Please use #question. What do you think about cruise ship slots in casinos? Seems like win at first and lose the rest of the trip. Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple of videos on that. I talk about it here in the live streams on occasion when I'm asked this question. Exactly. And it's really hard not to give back the money when you're on a 7-day trip, and on day 2, which was really the first full day of the trip, you win money, and now you have a stack of money in your room, and you're like, no, no, don't spend it for 6 days. It's so they don't mind giving you a little bit of money early in the trip, because that having that discipline, the ability to prevent yourself from giving it all back. We all have problems with that. I think mostly lack of practice, lack of, we're not used to winning, and now you're winning. You're welcome. and now you're like, but I didn't get it home. I'm like, well, I have a class. That's I don't talk about the winning strategies in my course until like later, because what's the point if you don't keep your winnings? Let's go through all that. What's going on with your state? And so, not to give you the course right here, that's why the course is valuable, to help you keep what you win. And anyway, could go on. Mr. Pick says, however, even with the plan you're already used in the past upon winning a huge hand pay. That's why I want to have a second plan to activate, the plan that you walk in with, and the plan you activate when you have a huge win, which is not what usually happens, but perhaps for you. And yes, I won $27,000 at 5:10 in the morning. I left 4 hours later, not with $27,000. And because I was like, I was early stages for me, and I was like, well, I'll stick with the plan. And I didn't realize you got to have a second plan for when this happens, because your original plan is busted for that trip. I paid good money for that. Please accept it. Do you see a reflection of the kitty in the window? Oh yeah. One cat is over in the kitchen window, and the other cat is elsewhere. I get dinged by people who are saying, enough cat talk. Get back to the slot tips, okay? Yes, I've been in idiot mode. Serenity says that. Yeah, I've been there. And how many casinos have I visited so far? Welcome to Nevada. Well, if I talk loud, you can hear an echo, and so I'm working on that. And I put in for a cloudy day today, so I could show you what it looks like out the window. I'm reviewing what couches to get. My house went on the market Wednesday. No, was it Wednesday? No, Thursday evening. I guess it was Thursday. Yes, I said during my Thursday live stream, it just happened Thursday morning, and so it's being showed, and I'm getting feedback. And there's 3 showings, 2 showings yesterday, 3 showings today. I'm a little bit kind of like working on that. I have a plan that I put together for the Reno casinos. I have a plan, and I've been wanting to talk to you because I know you spend a lot of time in Las Vegas. We should meet up sometime if you are available. I'm looking at the flights to Las Vegas from Reno, and considering maybe Wednesdays being like my day to go to the casinos every week. Have some planning to do. Yeah. And we'll talk more, Magpie, as always. Question: when coming back to winning machine 1 week later, should you make the same dollar bet or change it? So this is your slots journey. Okay. The first thing is, some casinos don't have this. This is a casino marketing counter strategy. So first thing you do is don't make any changes, because you will wonder afterwards, well, was it because I made the change? Don't make any changes from that win. It could have been your win, could have been somebody else's win. Keep things the same. See if it happens. Do it 3 times, 3 weeks, 3 different jackpots, and at the same time, and see what's going on. But then the natural thing to do will be to grow, to continue on their slots journey, to say, I would like to win more. Because if you never gotten a hand pay, the first thing that'll happen be like, I want more hand pays. And if you get more hand pays, you're like, I want more hand pays, even more hand pays. So we always want to have more. So what you want to do is explore, get to know your casino, and see if that works without making any changes. If you have established kind of like yes, then then you start trying variations that would optimize it, and that's one of them. So a little bit of patience, a little bit of try it and see, because your casino has made choices, and it's not like a national kind of like choices. It can be statewide sometimes. Like Nevada doesn't like to have people win on the weekends because there's California likes to come to visit, as I call it, and they say, okay, if California comes to visit, we will make them go home a little bit lighter. A little bit less money, but during the week they'll raise the odds because they want to keep locals happy, because the locals are part of the community, and that sort of thing is Nevada. And what's going on in your state? What state are you in? And if you want to have a consultation, we can talk about what's going on. There are some gaming regulations, state gaming regulations, which are incredibly fair, which I don't like, because I like them when they're not fair exactly. And then there's advantages to be taken for the knowledgeable of us and those who spot these changes. So if you someone's a Valentine says, I'm in Europe, from Europe, and yes, there are different gaming regulations, and I love to take advantage of the ones that are not 100% fair. And I like Iowa is just like so fair. It's like, go to another state. I'm sorry. You can still win, but it's not like systematic wins. And I'm just like, dude, did you read this, the state gaming regulations? It's so fair. That's hard. That's hard. And it's lots of fun is saying, put in carpet shelves for the kiddies along with other decor on the back wall. There's a bunch of things that I would like to do. They no longer have a rail to walk along above the great room in my log home, and I think they kind of miss that. But they do like the patio windows, and they do like looking out. Valentine says, thanks for your response. I'm from Europe. Yep. I have a lot of EGT machines. They have a smaller return to player than the old ones. Also, your strategy with playing one time every other week really works. Great. Thank you for letting me know. Other people have contacted me from Europe, and I like to, share what others have shared. This is a community, and great. And comments to back and forth. Valentine also says, I also think the game and the bet you playing influence somehow the payout. Also playing some spins on autoplay, some normal versus what do you think? If what I say is, if you are noticing a difference, and if you keep gaming gaming records, this is how we start noticing things. Magpie 11 has been keeping records for over a year, and she's like, what the heck? What's going on? This is so, it jumps out at you. What's some of the things? So if you are seeing some of this, it would not surprise me at all. And the next thing you need to do is take advantage of it. But some people are like, go by feelings, and I'm like, maybe you could make a spreadsheet or records, or and you can look for patterns that way, and they're there to be found. I would not be surprised if those things that you're talking about would influence the betting amounts, but you need to determine for yourself in your gaming jurisdiction if they're doing that. Okay. Joe says, question, do the machines in Reno have a higher return to player than Las Vegas? I heard this somewhere before. No, we could check. If you go to professorslots.com, let me see if I can do this like quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let me share that. So I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to go to professorslots.com. I'm going to go to Nevada, which is just any state. I wrote articles on every state for 4 years running, just making them better every time. And so professorslots.com / the 2-letter postal designation for your state. And we're going to go to Nevada. And here's Nevada. And it's always the same different sections: introduction, relevant gambling regulations, what can you own a slot machine privately, gaming control board, and then there's casinos, which is extra long in Nevada, because I list all of them, and for each city, and we could go there, but I want to take you down to return statistics, theoretical payouts and return statistics. And if you go to statistics and publications, this is the latest statistics. In this August 2021, 22 has come out, not yet September. We click on that. We see the reports, and then we slide on down. There's many page reports. We slide on down to, there's Clark County, Las Vegas Strip, North Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas, Clark County entirely. And then we go to Washoe County, Reno area. And each one of these, by the way, could be broken down into what the revenue is they don't go casino by casino, they go by revenue of the casino within a certain area. So I'm going to go to page, let's see, Strip, all locations, page 12, and then I'm going to go to Washoe County, Reno area, all locations, page 33. So page 12. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, nobody's getting dizzy. Page 12. There it is. Okay. Slot machines, and I have something I'll show here. It's a little easier to kind of identify, showing them. This is what we are looking at on this page full of numbers. This is what we're looking at. We are looking at the returns for slot machines within the current month, not the 3-month average, not the 12-month average, not table games, not sports betting. We are looking at slot machines by denomination, and we're going to look at the total 8.15% return win percent. This is the casino hold percent. You have to watch out for win versus hold. So this is 91.85 win percent, 100 minus 8.15. So look at 8.15, that's how much the casino is holding. And you can see how much higher it is for 1-cent machines. Usually the highest, always. And so now let us go to page 22 and see how those two numbers compare. We can talk about opinions. People sometimes prefer my opinion, but I'm like, well, we can always check the facts. And so now we are looking at Reno, and the win percent is 6.5 versus 8.15. So this means that it's better in Reno. And it's, let's see, you can see all that, right? Yes, good. Am I high enough, showing it high enough? Yeah, I'm going to make sure I've got a bunch of different things on the screen that I'm showing you. And so it is 1 point. Okay, so let's do a quick, make sure I get my math right. 8.15 minus 6.5. It is a difference of 1.65. 1.7% and win percent is better in Reno, is significant. I try to calibrate people with the win percent. If you find 2.5% better, it's worthy of a backflip. Okay. People talk about, 8% difference. And I'm like, 8%? Dang, that's like, 2.5% is the difference between the best casino you've ever been to and the worst casino you've ever been to. And that's the difference right there, just to calibrate you. And so 1.7% is almost 2, and that's pretty darn significant. So your rumor is right. Yeah. And if you want to look at the slot machines, but hey, you coming to visit? You're going to come to visit? Okay. I need to get pathways set up so that the cats. Okay. Yeah. That was saboteur number 2, and saboteur number 1 is over by the modem right now. So Yeah, it's no longer a rumor. It's data from the State Gaming Commission in Nevada. Yes. So I think, Steve, you asked the question, but you added hashtag question in case I had missed it. Thank you. When will we see the thumbs up pillow? When I put in a couch. Suggestion, put my degrees back on the wall behind me. I did bring the degrees. When I moved to Reno, I did not bring much. I brought, I filled a minivan. You know, the seats go under the floor. It's just like incredible. 2 cats and this chair, this desk, the other desk, tripods, cameras, and a large duffel bag full of clothes, a suitcase full of Professor Slot shirts, and a duffel bag for workout clothes. So I, divided my belongings into donation and trash and keep. And keep was by far the smallest pile. And the trash was a 30 cubic yard dumpster. And also I gave the donations I gave my moderator, Paula, I'm not sure if she's here, 7 cubic foot boxes of books that she selected from my collection that she likes. And she took all those and I had 73 total, and about 70, 62 boxes ended up going to Goodwill. Not the first Goodwill, because the first Goodwill said no. And the second one said okay. And I had to help them unload it. I have pictures on my YouTube channel of that. But that's what's going on. And Jill says, I got my Winners Bank. It's a lockable wallet for those. My biggest problem is giving back. Okay. Yes, you're going to come up here now? Oh, the cats are kind of fighting, and they're doing it near the modem. This is why they're called Saboteur number 1 and Saboteur number 2 instead of Hetty and Emil. Okay. There is the other cat, Hetty. All right. It's a cat show. Susan, used your highly visible locations combined with strategy advantage plan, left with over $3,000 last night at Firekeepers. A big thank you. Sure. The verbal tip. I enjoy the verbal tip. My sisters were waitresses. My brother-in-law were waitresses in Frankenmuth, Michigan. It's a large 300 people employed by the kitchen staff, and they explained to me the verbal tip. Thank you for the verbal tip. You're very welcome. Camilla, if you have a rule book, that's great. Whatever works for you. There's so many places. I drove on the way here with Chuck, my moderator, may or may not be here, drove through Wendover, West Wendover, technically, Nevada, or Utah, and drove through Wendover, Nevada. It's right there 50 feet from the state line. And that was, I got to get back there. It was just like, I hadn't slept in like hours, and it seemed like days. And I was just like, I can't pull into a casino right now. We got to keep going. And Jill says Cleopatra pays at the same time starting at 3. Well, are you sure you don't? You want to tell us this? But don't tell us the time. You might find one of us sitting in your machine. Pays at 60 cents or what? $6 when you hit the cycle on time. Good. And Thomas says it is funny watching people's faces when you say the reason you like a game is that it was wins versus, I like the lightnings because they fly across the scene. Yeah. I run into this lately. I will say stuff and people look at me funny. I don't currently own a car. And the people saying, well, you're moving to Nevada? Yeah. First thing you do is buy a car, right? I'm like, first thing I'm going to do, is probably get a couch, and put my degrees up on the wall and work on lighting. And, it's not even number 20. And then I saw somebody the other day when I was going for the walk in this nice walking park here. And I happened to mention to them, what I was doing, and kind of like I'm talking to you, and their concern was that I was alone. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be alone. I'm like, 20 years too late telling me that. Yes, I can, I'm alone. Are you going to be okay? You look like you're really upset. So, yes, telling people that your, favorite game to play is the ones that you win on is kind of like, huh? and I love those looks. It's kind of like when I look at my students, and I explained the difference between kinetic coefficient of friction and the potential coefficient of friction, and they're like, huh? And I'm like, well, you know how when the bus comes to a stop and the brakes are being used, and it kind of like jerks right there when it comes to a halt. And that's transition between kinetic coefficient of friction and the potential coefficient of friction, because it's like when you put your hands together and you're like pushing and pushing and pushing, and then they move, and it's not the same ease of movement between not moving and moving. That's because it's a kinetic coefficient of friction. Not to teach you physics or anything, but then one of my students came back in the next day, and he was like, the bus came to a stop and went like, we all kind of like jerked. And I realized, I thought about the physics and what you had said, and now I will always think of that. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, yeah. Now they'll always think about, oh, the machines I like are the ones I win on. Huh. So Crimson says, are there alternative bank checks when a jackpot is won? So you can ask for part cash, part cashier's checks, bank checks. Yes, it's a regular feature. Not many people know about it. That's one way to kind of keep your money and get out of the casino with it. Absolutely. You can also, up to a certain more point, not too much, you can also give it to the federal. I mean, you can lend it to federal income taxes. And they're not going to give it back until tax season. And if you have a hard time not being able to get out of the casino, use the government. They've got a police force, Air Force, Army. They're not going to give it back until it's on your income taxes, and you get your refund. Depends on how badly your issue is. Yeah. But bank checks are pretty good one. Yeah, good idea. And Magpie says September noticed an increase in hand pays in Nevada, Las Vegas, both amounts won and frequency. It should be a great year. There is a season to playing slots, and that season, the main season, there's ups and downs throughout the year, and the main season is starting right about now through the end of the year. Yeah. So we should see the ramp up, but then it's going to get cold in January 2nd, it's going to be cold. So if you're going to plan on going, make sure you sort of work around that. Yeah. Maynard, we are looking for a higher number on that sheet, not a lower one. I walked away for a minute. Yes, on this, the way that the Nevada does it is this number right here is we're looking for a smaller number, because this is actually the casino hold percent, and they call it the win percent. There's a casino hold percent and there's a player win percent, and it's a little bit confusing. The Nevada Gaming Commission is kind of like focused on the casinos, not the players. And other states will have the player win percent, but Nevada likes to use the casino hold percent. So this means that is percentage. It is less given to the casinos than what was happening back on page 12, which was here, and that is they gave back more. The casino took more, 1.65% more, and on average. And so, yes, it's sorry, math. Yeah. So, if you let's see, I did not say this. Make sure that you like this video to drive traffic to us, and that would be appreciated. Thank you. And my moderator said to do that. Yep. And yes, the cats. Yes, yeah. I get updates on the cats at home. And so, what's going on in your casino? Are you seeing an uptick in hand pays and wins? Make sure that you say, well, there's twice as many people going to the casino, so there's twice as many hand pays. That's not really an increase. But if you go to the casino and you see 100 hand pays where before there was only 2, then it's not because there's more people in the casino. And so, follow the facts. Follow the facts. Yeah. Okay. So improve your slots performance in 30 days, or where are you at? There you are. And the sun is shining now, so I'm like in the shadow. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. This is, you can have a consultation, you pay for a consultation, or you can take this self-led course at your own pace at whatever time you want, or you can find my times that are available to have a booking, and I'll explain this to you. But systematically go through all the stuff that I'm talking about here in a clear, presentable manner, and you get 3 free valuable bonuses, including 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, which you can use at any time. You don't have to start it immediately upon purchasing the course. You can wait until later or whenever you want. That first month will be free if you choose to use it, when you choose to use it, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to get more information about this free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Press any of the green buttons and it'll take you to this page, and you can see the curriculum, and it's expandable under the different sections. There's a lot to be taught before we get to the slot strategies in section 6, and just to make sure everything's going well for you. And this is the course bonuses. People have gotten wins and hand pays when they never have before. And I'm so happy to be able to help people with that course. And lifetime access. So when I come up with a little better presentation, I want to start using slides and bullet points to help people who are visual learners a little better. That's where it's all going to be. That's where you're going to get. What a great live stream. You'll see me on my next live stream on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, watch this video, and I will talk to you.